Welcome to Shorty SuperCoach. How you guys going out there? Bit of a new style of video today. Filming and recording this one on the Wednesday. I'll probably chuck it out there on a Friday. Let me know your thoughts. Break-evens and fallen premiums. We're going to get stuck into a few of the guys that we should be keeping an eye on, not just for this week, to bring it aside. Blokes on the bubble, which for the record, there's not too much going on this week. It's pretty chill. I don't think you should be making any trades this week. Just hold your cards. I know we want to get some blokes in. I think I'll be putting this one out on Friday, so I've probably already done the weekend preview, which I'll go a bit more in-depth into the strategy of what I'm doing with my trades and how I'm approaching this weekend specifically. But I just wanted to do a video. Someone must have mentioned it in the live stream or in the comments or something. I don't really do too much about actual break-evens, and I know I mention them, but I think people quite enjoy these videos where it's a real precise look at what's going on with the exact break-evens. Just a bit of a one-stop shop for the guys that are on the bubble, about to go up, who can't you afford to miss, and also the all-important fallen premiums. So we'll talk about guys that are fallen premiums as is and in the future, but most importantly ones to have on your radar, because that's why I don't think you need to trade too much just yet. But in rounds sort of 5 to 8, that's when we're really going to start to see some fluctuations in the price. Our cash cows start to make some money, and some guys that have started the season just a little bit slowly we can pounce on. So let's just start with the break-evens of the positive nature, ones that are going to make us lots of money. And honestly, this week it's really just about Nick Martin, in my opinion. If you don't have him, you got to get him. He's on the bubble this week because he missed round 2 due to COVID, close contact or whatever it was. So he is now a guy that you just got to get your hands on. Most of us do. Got to find a way to get him in. Now I'm just going to talk about some of these aren't too relevant. Like there's that virus again. Like we're not bringing in Bo McQuarrie. Lockie Gallant, I'm not too sure on. We've seen it once. Tex Walker comes back in the side. Not so sure. Now, Bowie's a really interesting one. He's on fire. Obviously, we missed that initial price rise last week. But again, he's got a extremely low break-even, deep into the negatives. So I'm not totally against it. I really feel like the ship sailed last week, but you can still get on board and still be rewarded for it this week. You just won't pocket as much cash. Now, I think Hinge, you really got to find a way to get your hands on him as well. He's about to go bonkers. And I feel like Cherry and Will Brodie are also guys that, we all missed them. Well, I should say, if you're getting him this week, it would have been great to get him last week, but I still feel like you won't get as much bang for your buck, but I still think bringing these guys into your team, if you missed them for whatever reason, is really beneficial. So, otherwise, I don't see any that are seriously worth talking about that we probably haven't already touched on in other videos. I think keep an eye on Reef McGuinness, see how he goes this week. I think Braden Pruce as well. He's a watch for me. I think it'd be great if you can back it up this week. That'd be fantastic. And he'll be a massive talking point for us next week if he does. But he's been untrustworthy. He's been very untrustworthy over the journey. So I'm happy to just chill out, watch how he goes this week, but I think it'll be a very popular trade next week. Jack Hayes out, Braden Pruce in if he goes really nice again. Now, I think these break-evens, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple, but what I do enjoy looking at and sort of casting an eye forward are the guys that are going to drop a lot. So the break-evens we just looked at, you want to get them in this week. Some of these guys, you don't want to get them in this week, but in 3 to 4, maybe 2 in some scenarios, you really want to get your hands on them or just have them on your radar. So a few guys that I certainly am keeping a close eye on. Tommy Mitchell. Now, could he return to averaging 110 plus? Is something going a little bit different under Sam Mitchell? Are they prioritising the youth? I'd have to watch a Hawks game to get a good feel of it. But at the moment, he's already dropped. He's going to drop again. Maybe keep him on your radar. Jack Steele as well. Now, whereabouts is he? So his break-even's 151, which, mind you, he could get. But I just think he's already dropped a bit. I would expect him to sort of fall. I reckon you could get him around the 600 to 620 pretty comfortably at some stage in the next 2 or 3 weeks, which for Jack Steele is pretty damn good. Tuke Miller obviously copped a bit of a tag. Just keep him on your watch list. He might be, because all we need from these guys is just a couple of weeks where they're off and they score 70 or 80, even a 90, and then we just don't want them to go nuts. If you can get 3 weeks of like 86, 109, 97, like they're not playing bad, but it's just a slight slump in their overall average, then you can really pick them up for a nice price. Guys like Rory Laird, Sam Walsh, they should be high on your radar. One that I definitely would say he should be in our teams within a month is Mitch Duncan. Now, I think we've got lots of cash generation going on in terms of the forward line, Brody, Cherry, a couple of guys leading the charge. I think Duncan is definitely a bloke that he just looks rusty, but he's going to be a top 3 or 4 forward in my opinion. So just keep a close eye to him. He's going to drop quite a bit, as you can see, break even of 159 there. And look, it really, once you sort of get to break evens below 150, it's probably not worth talking about too much. I do think Darcy Parish and Aaron Hall are guys just a little bit on the slide. Jake Lloyd a little bit on the slide, but nothing drastic. So just keep them in your watch list and in your thoughts. But definitely you can just access this any old time. You can go SuperCoach break evens and something will pop up. You'll be able to find it. But it's just really interesting to watch just to get a gauge of, who's going to fall. I mean, who is not going to reach these numbers? And look, even someone like Christian Petrarch, ripping start of the season, but he scored 98 or whatever it was. So did Brayshaw. Maybe this week he just scores 102, and all of a sudden that break even's getting a bit high, and they're not dropping off the face of the earth. But I think it's important if you can just find 50k here and there. Sometimes it's just about getting guys 40k less than what they actually are, or 80k unders for what they are. Just finding little bits of value over the course of the season can really help in terms of maximising your trades. So I think there are a few guys that are definitely on my watch list, particularly Mitch Duncan is massive on my watch list, Jack Steele. And down back, I feel like Hall, Stewart and Lloyd, while they're all playing pretty well, I think just Lloyd and Stewart haven't hit their ceilings yet. Hall's had a 70, so it might just be something to... they could come out and score 140 this week. It blows it out of the water. But just keep them on your radar. Keep thinking, because in 2 or 3 weeks, we'll have a bit of cash to throw around, and you want to have a good idea of where you can throw it. So let me know what you think of a bit of a new style of video. I don't think I'll do it every week, but definitely early on when these break-evens are super relevant, I reckon I'll throw it around. So enjoy the day. Have a good weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.